So today we're going to be looking through the SBCs. We've got a lot to go through now. Team of the Year's ended. Depending on where your team's at, if you've managed to get a Team of the Year, if you've managed to do any of these during Team of the Year, is the big question. So let me know one person you did in Team of the Year. I personally did KDB. He was kind of the one and only that I really wanted to do. Have you got any Team of the Years that are surrounded? Meaning you don't need another centre mid. You don't need a fullback. Let me know down below because it's always interesting to know what people have either finished or obviously are trying to complete. We'll always start with the icons. They are obviously the easiest ones to go through because, to be honest, there's a lot that are okay, but there's always a big question around them. So if we go into the icon SBCs, we've obviously got a few that will be going soon. Lotta is going to go in 4 hours. We've got 6 weeks then for the rest of them at an absolute minimum. Jarzinho, Vieira, Ronaldinho, Casillas, Bale, Abile, Matthias, and then the brand new future star icons in Georgie Best and a bit of Robin van Persie. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. So out of them are the big questions of what you should do. Now, Matthias, Ronaldinho, Vieira and Jarzinho, you can technically get out of the icon player pick. So we do also have an 88 plus icon mix pick. That's coming in at 430. I personally got Vieira from that over Team of the Year. So that was prior to having something else in there, or they just refreshed it. Regardless, I got it from the one that was before this one, so that was just handy in itself because obviously I don't have to do him now. There is a lot of people that could have got the normal Vieira from that and done him into the iconic rise, as he is one of the better evolutions in that personal evolution, and then same with Bale as well, to be honest. So already I'm begged the question of, should you complete any of them, really? Like, realistically, the ones I would be looking at, Bale is phenomenal. I've seen multiple times of him. We've obviously used all the loans from these icons, and they are all very good. They're not bad cards in any shadow of imagination. I like Casillas. If you've already got Martinez, not really a point. If you prefer Courtois, not really a point. If you've got Van der Sar, I would probably go with them keepers over him. He's there if you didn't get a Team of the Year keeper, don't have one that you particularly like. He's cheap, he's affordable, he's a nice price for it. Bale is unbelievable, but if you've already got a Team of the Year Mbappe and R9, or a Team of the Year Eusebio and a gold Mbappe, is there really too much point? If you've done then a Team of the Year blueprint Dembele, you've done a Yamal upgrade, is there any point spending 2.8 on him? That's when you've got to ask yourself, do you need that amount of fodder for it? So straight off the bat, we would go, personally for me, Lotta, I would say now it's got 4 hours, so realistically you're watching this when she's not even out, so you can't do it. Jarzinho has, unfortunately, from the very start, been 2.5 mil, being a bit too expensive in my opinion. I think Bale is up there, I really do. If you're going to do somebody of that expense, I do think that's a pretty big one in my opinion. I'd go Casillas. I'd say decent value at a minimum. It would all depend personally on your keeper preference. I do think he's a good keeper. I don't think he's the best, but as a double play style plus keeper goes, he's a solid one. Then obviously you've got the likes of Vieira. I mean, 1.6 mil, it's a solid price for him. I don't think it's necessarily crazy bad, but you can, it's about the price of the market as well, to be honest. I just think whenever there's a player that I could get out of a player pick already, like obviously with Bale, with Casillas and Abile, they're not impacts. They'll never be impacts. The only thing they could be in is if they include icons in a year in review pick. That's all you could get them from. So I personally would personally go with don't complete, and as it kills me to say it, I'd say the same for Ronaldinho as well. I think they are incredible players, but as an SBC goes, paying 3.1 for him, I just don't think he's worth it. In terms of what he brings you as well, with all of the left-wing Evos, all of the left-wing SBCs, and the future project of him, I just don't think spending 3 mil of fodder on that is worth it in my opinion. We then go with Matthias. I do like Matthias. I think 2.5 still quite expensive for him. You can obviously get him from the player pick as well. I would probably go with Don't Complete also. I think Abile comes in, obviously 1 million. Again, I'm kind of thinking more towards her incisive more so than anything. Incisive tiki-taka is very, very nice. At 1 million, I'd possibly say decent value. I'd then say Georgie Best at 1.6. With the fact that we've had him, well, we've had a Team of the Year blueprint giving us a 94 right wing with 3 playstyle pluses, you're going to have to move him into the cam with the incisive. I would go more towards a decent value-ish to maybe Don't Complete. It depends on your formation. Van Persie, I think, is phenomenal value, to be honest. 600k for him, double playstyle plus, good striker name, gone up in an upgrade. It's 4s, 2s, 5, 2. It's nothing too crazy in my opinion, but 650 is a decent price overall. 4-star, 5-star rather than the 4-4. I mean, it's a solid one. You've got the finesse and the first touch. Pace-wise, could do with a little bit more of an upgrade, but realistically, if you wanted to just go out with the pace, you go Hunter 96, 97. I'd say that's definitely one to look at. If you're looking at a cheaper option, he's definitely one to go with. When we look at the players in general, we've got a lot of Player of the Month still, and we've got probably, maybe not the worst Player of the Month, but we have got Mbappe at 93. 4.4 million. Now, I get it, is Mbappe. He's unbelievable. Like, obviously, you've got the gold still coming in at 1.1. That is incredible with the pricing of this year especially. It's not necessarily saying that he should be lower by now, because any other year he probably is probably still under just 2. But this year we have seen such a price smack on any golds. I think him and, I don't know if Vinny's actually over it still. What's Vinny? He's 312. Is Teo then? Let's have a look. Is he? Oh, wrong one. That is not who I want to see. Is it only 2 now? 424. Wow, he took a massive price upgrade. So there's only like 2, 3, 4 golds that are above 100k to be honest. But in general, 4.3 for a card that loses the best playstyle plus that he had. In that, given one of the worst playstyle pluses he could have, I just don't think 4.3 is worth it. I know he's got the stats, like he's incredible, like the card itself, like if you just plonked him on your club, fantastic. But you're not. You're having to put 4.3 in. I personally would say Don't Complete, and it is Mbappe, and I think even if he had just the quick step, I'd still say do him, but even then, like the 4.3, that's going to take you a long time. You've only got a month. It's not like with the icons where you've got 50, 60 days. You've got a month to get all of that. That coming out at the end of Team of the Year as well. The slump is real to grind the game. And to then get that amount of fodder without trying to spend a lot of coins is going to be insanely difficult. So for me, I just think it might be a challenge that little bit too much in my opinion. We got a lot of the Player of the Months, and obviously they are just going to be SBC storage. They literally do not cost much at all. When you go into the players, they are pretty much the only ones left. You've obviously got Dybala coming in at under 100, Verts coming in at 61, 22 and 82. Very, very cheap indeed. Which moves us on to the Moments cards, or at least are they Moments? No, they're flashbacks. You've got Kimmich and De Bruyne. You've got 2.8. It's very expensive when you look at it now, and 1.8 for Kimmich. For me, as a centre-mid pairing, if you wanted to, you've got an incredible DM, and then also the free-flowing, better box-to-box, but kind of more cam-related if anything. He is the passer of the game. Both of them 2 cards are outrageously good. Now, you've got 14 and 15 days to get them done. Like I said, I did KDB right at the start. And to be honest, with obviously the likes of Bellingham, with Zidane that we've already got, and multiple other Evos that we've got in cam, it's an argument, but I just think he is absolutely incredible in this version. He's had the pace upgrade, some nice defensive duties, and he's just wonderful with them playstyle pluses. And Kimmich is just incredible as a DM. That's the card that we wanted. We got was it the Ultimate Succession? For me, it just wasn't the card. It was this one. Like, it's a nice upgrade if you look at it in comparison to his gold or his inform. His inform, lovely pace upgrade, fantastic everywhere, but he just lost that little bit of sauce. Whereas you look at this one, that is a card that you want. The double playstyle plus can still go into the right back if you need, or even into the centre mid, long ball pass, anticipate. That is the Kimmich that you want to do personally. Yapstam, as much as I would rave about him, again with the hero picks, with the evolutions that we've had, to be honest, you're better off just going for the bog standard, waiting for the hero pick and doing it there, because you've got it for 63,000. I personally would take my risk of how many upgrades can we do with him. I'm pretty sure it was relatively expensive, nearly 1 million coins. You could do like 15 hero picks with that, and more than likely you'll end up with him, or at least a version of him. So I personally would say right now that that's not worth it. We've had the Team of the Year Evo Star, the centre back. We've then obviously had Konate for free. Virgil still an option if you really wanted to. Many Team of the Year players in general, and also SBCs that you can do. So many that are coming in so much cheaper than him personally. So as much as he is fantastic in-game, there is options out there. Like Marquinhos coming in at 387. Fantastic value. We have obviously Salma coming in at 700. Cancelo at 160, which I think is brilliant value in itself. I'd go with Salma. I'd still go as a decent value, maybe an evolution in the future. I don't know if I'd go must complete, but very good if you did complete her. Cancelo is obviously up there. I think Martinez at 330 is very good as well. We've got a 92 rated striker, obviously, coming in with that Van Persie vibe. He's obviously got himself the finesse and the relentless, so at least the finesse shot. We've got Foden at 1.6 million. Now, I know a lot of people will like him. I don't discourage any of these cards. A lot of these cards in SBCs are solid cards. Like anybody could use them and be fantastic with them. It is the price that you're paying, and that's what you've got to think. If I'm putting in what is with all these ads? If I'm putting in 1.6 mil on Foden, it means I'm putting 1.6 to him rather than anything else at that point. So it's got to make sense, because you don't get 1 million, 2 million, 3 million kind of cards worth of fodder every single week. It's a very difficult process to go to. So would I say he's worth it? And personally, I don't think he is. I really don't think he is. When you've got the 92 coming in at 800,000, I think that card personally needs to be closer to 950 a million than it does to nearly the 2 million mark. So for me, I'm going to stand on it. Foden is not complete in my eyes. I would say Harry Kane has had an absolute glow up and a half with his version though. 94 rated, obviously coming in with a finesse and first touch, very much like Van Persie. He's had obviously a nice pace increase as well, which is always nice. He's gone from the 80, what did he start with? 65 in total, all the way to 85 now, which is nice. Obviously you could look at something like the engine. He's already got him shooting at pretty high end levels. So I imagine the engine, or if you wanted to just go out with a pace, you would still go with the Hunter or even the Catalyst, just to add that extra amount of pace really, because you'd get up to 93 in total, which is always nice. But either way, whatever way you go about it, he's a fantastic shooter of the ball. He's always great when you get in and around the box, so I would say as a must complete sort of striker around there. Which then leads us to the last three Team of the Year honourables. We've got Pedri, we've got Marta, and we've got DeMarco. Now, he's been a brilliant card this year. Great left back. It's coming in relatively cheap. You've got Marta coming in more of an SBC storage card. And then you've got Pedri, who's going to make a wonderful link to the Gavi Winter Wild card? The Gavi Winter Wild card with obviously the 99 dribbling. That's a great pairing already. If you're looking at evolutions in the future, I do think that is going to be a wonderful two you could get to potentially put up later on. Now, I do think they're pretty good values across the board. I think DeMarco for me would be in a solid value, same as Pedri, and Marta would be kind of more into your SBC storage. Then obviously the final two SBCs, but the first two Future Star SBCs. We've got Hugo and Yildiz. Now, Yildiz has got two different versions. This one is the one I believe that you should always go for. The cam striker with the finesse and pinged pass for me was better in terms of the option. And I don't think it's a terrible value. I mean, he's a nice card. He's not necessarily crazy out the gates with it. Is just a solid upgrade. It's not necessarily anything I'd be going too nuts to complete straight away. Hugo himself, I must admit, looks pretty solid across the board. It's got the chip shot plus, which is what it is, but he's only 180 at the minute. He's obviously 4'4", being 6'2", great pace, good physicality, great shooting, great dribbling, and a bit of passing, nothing too crazy. They're very mid cards in terms of names, because that's the whole point. In like 5-10 years times, you might be thinking, oh, you didn't know who that guy is. Like, it's the same with anybody when they start their career. You're not meant to know their names. Everybody looks at the Cancelos, the De Bruynes, the Kimmiches, and I'm not saying that I don't, because most definitely when you see a Yildiz as a striker, you're like, oh, who do you go for? Yildiz or Kane or Martinez? Well, there's very little reason that you're ever going to go for Yildiz, because the name is always what makes it more. It makes it more important for you. But both cards, very, very nice values across the board. I wouldn't necessarily say they are must completes, but at least a very good look in to see where Future Stars is going. And that is going to be the list. So let me know down below, like I said, what are you doing at the moment and what did you complete over Team of the Year? And I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.